Good happy Tuesday evening. I'm Riley King, and welcome to your Tuesday evening edition of your WRMK News 12 Evening Newscast. We have a lot of news to get to this Tuesday evening, so let's get started right now. First up, man accused of shooting woman in Manchester apartment will remain in jail. Let's take a listen to that report from WMUR News 9.
Gene, there are family members from both the defendant and also the victim in court today. Both sides extremely shaken up by what happened. Now, Tyler Cook is charged with manslaughter for recklessly causing the death of Sophia Bonfiglio at an apartment building on Amherst Street. That's where authorities say the two lived together. Police were called to the scene around 2 p.m. Sunday afternoon, where they found Bonfiglio suffering from a gunshot wound. She was taken to the Elliott Hospital, where she was pronounced dead about 2.5 hours later. Now, Cook said nothing during his arraignment today. It's unclear when he will be back in court or if the family members will have anything to say. We'll have much more on this case beginning with News 9 at 4. Reporting live outside Superior Court in Manchester, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Lanes temporarily closed on I-93 South in Londonderry in Derry. Let's take a listen to that report from WMUR News 9.
Here's a quick traffic update for you this noon starting tonight. The New Hampshire DOT will temporarily close several southbound lanes of Interstate 93 South for 4 nights to set steel girders on the new Exit 4A bridge in Derry and Londonderry. So keep that in mind during your evening and your late night commutes.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Holiday blaze tears through building in Falmouth shopping area. Let's take a listen to that report from NBC 10 Boston.
To Falmouth, where an old multi-use building went up in flames last night. Well, a day later, still no word on when the tenant and the residents can return. We sent our NBC 10's John Maroney down there to get the latest. John, what are you learning about the investigation?
Priscilla, the cause is still unknown, but is not considered to be suspicious. You can see the damage. This holiday blaze caused a lot of heartache for the people who live and work here.
Grabbed my roommate and my cat and came down here.
Flames shooting out of the Main Street building in Falmouth on the first day of the new year. Amy Olson was in her second-floor apartment, looked out the window, and people on the sidewalk were telling her to get out.
You can't believe it's happening. It's not real. It's just, everyone's screaming and yelling, and fire trucks and ambulances, just intense.
The fire started around 5 o'clock Monday afternoon and another unit at the front of the old building. There are 4 apartments upstairs and 4 small businesses on the first floor. We're told the structure is about 100 years old and is well known in this historic Cape Cod business district.
It's just a shame. It is a beautiful, beautiful part of Main Street. Great shops, great owners here.
Falmouth investigators say only 2 of the apartments were occupied at the time of the fire, while only one of the businesses had been open for the holiday.
Those businesses down below just sustained some smoke damage, but mostly water damage.
Everyone in the building was able to get out safely on their own, but 2 people in the unit where the fire started suffered minor injuries. A firefighter was hurt as well. All of them are expected to be okay.
Thankful that nobody got hurt, and it's really sad because Main Street in Falmouth is a wonderful little village.
Now, the building is considered to be safe, but no word on when people will be able to return to their homes or their jobs. Well, out in Falmouth, John Maroney, NBC 10 Boston.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Gun safety likely to stir passionate debate in Maine's upcoming legislative session. Let's take a listen to that report from News Center Maine.
There will almost certainly be passionate debate on the topic of gun safety reform this upcoming legislative session.
The founder of the legislature's Gun Safety Caucus said she knew of at least a half dozen proposed firearms bills heading into the session, and a lot can change from day one. She told us Maine is still a safe state, but believes Mainers now know for certain mass shootings can happen here, and they are ready to make sensible change, she said. Meanwhile, Republican Representative John Andrews is sponsoring one of those bills and said they can protect legal gun owners while protecting the public.
I think that would be very helpful for the state to heal. If we can work on positive solutions that don't infringe upon people's rights, but still, go out of their way to help keep people safe.
Is this kind of thing a challenge in Maine? It is a challenge. But I think what's changed since the Lewiston shooting is the realization for everyday Mainers that gun violence isn't just something that we read about in the paper in other states.
Tomorrow morning, before the House and Senate begin in their next session, more than 300 people, including at least one victim's family from the Lewiston shooting, reportedly plan to gather at the State House to rally and meet with lawmakers.
Okay, there you go on that report. Harvard president resigns aimed anti-ism and plagiarism backlash. Let's take a listen to that report from CBS Boston.
WBZ has confirmed Claudine Gay is resigning as president of Harvard University. WBZ obtained an email sent to the Harvard community this afternoon. In the email, Gay says she consulted with members of Harvard's governing body and decided that it was best for her to resign to help the institution. Gay has been heavily criticized for the school's response to protests over the Israel-Hamas war and the way she answered questions from Congress about anti-Semitism on campus. She has also been investigated for plagiarism. In her letter, Gay writes that it has been distressing to have her commitments to equality and scholarly rigor questioned, and she said some of the attacks on her were motivated by race. We are working to find out more on this breaking news. We will have updates throughout the day on CBS News Boston.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Whoops. More cities across the U.S. overwhelmed with border crisis. Let's take a listen to that report from ABC News.
Out of the crisis at the border, which has spread to cities across the country, some big city mayors say they're overwhelmed, underfunded, want action. Mola Lengi is in Denver with the story. Good morning, Mola.
Well, good morning, George. As you can see here, dozens and dozens of migrants, many of them families, set up in what's essentially a little tent city here in downtown Denver. This encampment stretching several blocks, so big the city plans to shut it down later this week as temperatures are getting dangerously cold.
This morning, as the number of southern border crossings soar, mayors across the country bracing for new waves of migrants. U.S. Customs and Border Protection reporting more than 242,000 encounters at the border in November. Texas Governor Greg Abbott transporting migrants to Democratic-run cities like Denver, Chicago, and New York, whose three mayors gathered virtually last week to sound the alarm.
We, at this point now, have had more migrant arrivals to our city than any city in America per capita.
New York's Mayor Adams issuing an executive order requiring charter buses provide the city at least 32 hours notice prior to arrival. But buses seemingly skirting around that order over the holiday weekend. Local officials saying an estimated 10 buses from Texas and one from Louisiana dropped off about 400 migrants at New Jersey transit stations, where they continued into the city by train. After putting in place similar restrictions in Chicago, Mayor Brandon Johnson says a plane carrying 350 Texas migrants arrived early Sunday morning at the Rockford airport and were bused to surrounding suburbs, left to find their way to the city.
Well, the city of Denver now scrambling to find these migrants some sort of housing as they prepare to shut down this encampment later this week, also offering them a bus ticket to another city if they choose, Eva.
Well, Lengy there for us. Thank you.
Okay, there you go on that report. And we're going to switch gears now, and let's go into your weather. And with a full weather forecast, let's go to meteorologist Kevin Scrupa.
Game on, New Hampshire. Have some fun and place your bets on your favorite sports teams. New DraftKings customers get a deposit bonus up to $1,000. Get the latest odds on some of the biggest matchups on WMUR News 9 Sports every night at 6 and 11.
Well, it's a chilly start to the day, but temperatures turning milder this afternoon, 30s to a few lower 40s, only dropping into the 20s in most cases tonight, and then partial sunshine tomorrow. We are watching for the potential of a storm system on Sunday. It will really depend on the track of that system and how close it will be to us by the time it eventually arrives. Here's a look at the satellite picture, and again, it is almost nothing but sunshine, just a few high clouds drifting in from the northwest this afternoon. As a matter of fact, with a few more clouds around later tonight, temperatures probably not falling quite as far overnight. There'll be a lot of areas dropping into the 20s, a few upper teens up north. Averaging out to partial sunshine for the day on Wednesday. Temps again will be in the 30s to a few lower 40s, a few extra clouds up north and out west. And as you will notice, later Wednesday night and into early Thursday, a couple of flurries or snow showers. That front eventually slides through during the afternoon after highs again in the 30s to lower 40s, and then eventually continuing to slide for highs only in the 20s to lower 30s, both Friday with sunshine and Saturday with an increase in clouds. Friday, brisk winds, probably setting up wind chills early in the day in the single digits above and below zero. And as I mentioned, a possible storm system for the day on Sunday and a possible accumulating snow really early to have any sort of detail on that. It will depend on the eventual track of that system just making its way onto the west coast of the United States this afternoon. So plenty of time to keep tabs on that as we go toward the weekend.
Okay, and there you go on your weather. Now let's take a look at your traffic and see how the evening commute is shaping up this evening. On 93 heading into Massachusetts, not too bad of a ride there. 293, not too bad of a ride as well. 89, you got a nice smooth sailing ride there. 93 around the Concord stretch, not too bad of a ride. A little bit of medium pace traffic. 393 between Concord and Chichester, not too bad of a ride as well. You got a little bit of medium pace traffic there. Report a little bit of medium pace traffic with smooth sailing traffic as well. Route 16 of the Spotling, not too bad of a ride. As you can see, 95 from Maine, New Hampshire into the border of Massachusetts. Not too bad of a ride. 101, not too bad of a ride. And Merrimack, Nashua into that border of Massachusetts. Okay, right there with a little bit of medium pace traffic. And that is a look at your evening traffic. If you do spot a traffic issue, make sure you let us know so we can let our viewers know as well. And now let's go into sports. Good, happy Tuesday evening. I'm Riley King, and welcome to your WRMK News 12 Sports Report right here on WRMK News 12. Let's get started right now. First up, the Boston Bruins. They have a game tonight at 7 o'clock p.m. against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Let's go Boston Bruins. Hopefully they can win tonight's game. And the Boston Celtics, they have a game tonight at 8 o'clock p.m. against Oklahoma City Thunder. Let's go Celtics. Hopefully they can win tonight's game. Game time, 8 p.m. And that is your sports report right here on WRMK News 12. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Have a great evening and good night. Okay, and there you go. And that does it for this evening edition of WRMK News 12. Thank you for watching and have a great night, everyone, and goodbye.